I've been to South Lebanon just last week, and I've seen the magnitude of the Hezbollah terror tunnels firsthand. It's just unbelievable the amount of weapons and the infrastructure that they've set up only a few hundred meters from the Israeli border. And that's only one layer of Hezbollah in Lebanon. So they have the layer that is prepared to launch ground offensives and basically capture the northern part of Israel. Okay, and the IDF now took over control of this layer, basically of all the Hezbollah terror infrastructures adjacent to the border with Israel. Okay, of course, there is a lot more work to be done to discover and to destroy these tunnels and to find the people and then, capture them, interrogate them, and understand how deep this network goes. But there is another layer of the long-range missiles, the drone facilities, the drone manufacturing compounds that are located in the northern part of Lebanon. And I think that this termination that you just mentioned of this key member of Hezbollah goes together with all the list of executions that the IDF carried out in order to basically take off the battlefield the key personnel that are in charge of leading these strategic attacks that can really harm either Israeli military bases, facilities, strategic facilities within Israel, if it's economic facilities, if it's ports, if it's civilian populations in key cities of Israel. And we see that the IDF is becoming more and more brave and more extreme in its operations. So only a few days ago, we had the commandos that conducted a jet ski boat operation north of Beirut to capture another commander of Hezbollah. And only yesterday it was clear for publication that Israeli commandos carried out an operation against key Iranian officials in Syria. Okay, so the IDF is reaching all these key personnel and terror figures all across the Middle East. Doesn't matter if it's just on the border, even if they are hiding we've seen it either in Tehran or in Syria or in Lebanon, in the north, in the middle, in the south. The IDF is reaching out to get them. And I think that the strategy is working. Of course, that it will take a long time, I think at least a few more months until we can completely annihilate Hezbollah. And the only way we can do this is if we have support, first of all, from the international community to keep going, and also to create some kind of diplomatic pressure on Lebanon to stop Hezbollah from regrouping and controlling this country. And then second of all, in order for this to be a success, Lebanon and the Lebanese military should be reinforced, should be more active in taking back their country. And I think that's the only way that there can be an end to this conflict between Israel and Lebanon. We've been seeing that our challenge as Israel is the unmanned drones. So the Iron Dome anti-rocket defense system, the Arrow 3, Arrow 2, and David Sling are very efficient in neutralizing any kind of threat that comes from the air, if it's ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and even short-range missiles that are just dumb, like what we've seen from the Gaza Strip, that they just fire a pipe with explosives towards us. But the challenge is the drones, because they're flying very slow and very low, which makes them also almost invisible to our radars. And that's why this is the major weapon that Hezbollah is still able to inflict damage to Israel. Okay? Of course, even the rockets and all these mortars and whatever they fire at us, anti-tank missiles, they cause a lot of damage. But the IDF is not intercepting all of them, only those that are about to hit a residential area, a military base, or something that will cause human life damage. But the north is under constant fire. The communities are destroyed from 1 year of war with Hezbollah. There is damage, and sadly, nobody's talking about it, because unless there's, a life toll nobody cares. Hamas basically turned into this guerrilla organization. After 1 year of fighting with the IDF, Hamas is diminished into this guerrilla organization that is still causing damage, but is not acting in any kind of organized manner. So we have a few guerrilla cells in different areas that are reinforced by gangs and by 16-year-olds and other people that just want to join the battle against the IDF. I mean, if it's ideologically or just because they want food and money to survive, this is the two reasons. But that's how Hamas maintains its ability to keep carrying out attacks against the IDF. So the IDF's operations and objectives in the Gaza Strip now is to maintain presence in the Philadelphia corridor, which is the border between Sinai, which is part of Egypt, and the Gaza Strip. Okay, so to prevent Hamas from getting more weapons, more supplies into the Gaza Strip. That's one. Second thing is to maintain presence in the Netzer corridor, which separates the northern part of Gaza from the southern part of Gaza. This is the two main objectives, and it's all according to the IDF's plan from the get-go of this operation. And still, it's important to remind everybody that we have hostages that are kept in the Gaza Strip. And until these hostages get home, the IDF will have to remain in full capacity in the Gaza Strip.